DART, connecting communities for 30 years. It all began on August 13, 1983, when DART was created, with 58% of voters in 14 cities and Dallas County casting 175,000 ballots in favor of a regional transportation system. By 1985, DART had 16 member cities, assumed operations of the Dallas transit system, introduced the first phase of suburban bus service, including nonstop express service between downtown Dallas and suburban member cities, selected light rail as the preferred mode for a planned 147-mile transit network, and survived its first 2 withdrawal elections held in the cities of Carrollton and Farmers Branch. In 1986 and 1987, the DART Board revised the DART service plan to provide 93 miles of light rail, including several miles of subways. DART staff begins development of a 20-year transit system plan, with light rail, commuter rail, and HOV lanes included. DART financial staff concludes that the 93-mile light rail transit network can be built within schedule, but only through the use of long-term bonds. And the DART Board approves a bond election to be held in 1988. The decision to seek the use of long-term debt for DART capital projects, including rail, by approving the 1988 bond election proved to be a pivotal point in DART's brief 5-year history. By a 58 to 42% margin, citizens in DART's 16 member cities turned down the proposition to allow DART to issue long-term bonds. There was talk that the bond election defeat would be the end of DART, but the DART Board dug in and directed staff to prepare a new transit system plan on a pay-as-you-go basis by April 1989. After an amazing 7 months of burning the midnight oil, DART staff completed the New Directions DART Transit System Plan, and the DART Board approved the new plan in June 1989. DART continued on an upward swing during the rest of 1989. In a flood of DART withdrawal elections, voters in Carrollton, Farmers Branch, Garland, Irving, Plano, and Rowlett elected to remain in DART. With an approved pay-as-you-go transit plan and major withdrawal election wins under their belt, DART began a flurry of groundbreakings, capital projects construction, and new service over the next 6 years. By 1994, DART construction crews had completed mining for the final tunnel breakthrough on the second of 2 light rail subway tunnels under North Central Expressway. DART introduced wrapped buses, a technique in which the entire exterior of a bus becomes a rolling billboard. And DART celebrates the opening of the Illinois Transit Center, the first bus and rail passenger transit facility. 40 light rail vehicles arrive in 1995, and testing begins on portions of the DART 20-mile light rail starter system with just a year to go before the grand opening. On June 14, 1996, the DART dream becomes a reality when sections of the 20-mile light rail transit starter system open on time and within budget. Initial light rail ridership exceeds all expectations, averaging more than 18,000 daily passengers, as opposed to the projected 15,000. And in May 1997, DART completes the 20-mile starter system with the opening of the 3-mile-long extension of its Blue Line through the South Oak Cliff section of Dallas. Also in 1997, DART is named Transit Agency of the Year by the American Public Transportation Association, the highest honor in the transportation industry. The new millennium begins with DART on a roll. In the year 2000, DART holds another bond election to authorize use of long-term financing to accelerate future light rail lines. Unlike the 1988 bond election, DART wins overwhelmingly by a 77% margin in support of the proposition. More rail line openings and good news follow DART in 2001. The DART Blue Line extends northeast of Mockingbird Station with the opening of White Rock Station. And the Trinity Railway Express expands to link Dallas and Fort Worth with passenger rail service for the first time since the mid-1930s. In 2002, DART doubles the 20-mile light rail starter system to 44 miles and 34 stations, 6 months ahead of schedule, in one of the largest rail expansion projects in North America. At the start of 2003, DART's official website, www.dart.org, rolls out a new trip planner, allowing riders to plan bus and rail trips from the convenience of their personal computers. And DART breaks ground for the J.B. Jackson Jr. Transit Center near Fair Park. In 2004, the agency rolls out 80 brand new buses made by North American Bus Industries, better known as NABIs. These buses use ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel and are more than 3 times cleaner than the buses they replaced. Also in 2004, DART opens Victory Station at American Airlines Center, the first station of the Northwest Corridor Green Line rail expansion. And in 2005, DART opens the J.B. Jackson Jr. Transit Center, which is scheduled to become part of the DART rail system when the adjacent Martin Luther King Jr. station opens in September 2009. June 14, 2006 marks the 10th anniversary of the start of light rail service in Texas. And in July, the Federal Transit Administration approves a $700 million full funding grant agreement to kickstart the Green Line expansion project that will lead to the doubling of the DART rail system to more than 90 miles. And in October of 2006, the DART Board of Directors unanimously approves the blueprint for the next generation of bus, rail, and high-occupancy vehicle services in North Texas with the passage of the 2030 Transit System Plan. Green Line station groundbreakings highlight the year in 2007, when Farmers Branch officials break ground for the future Farmers Branch Station. And the City of Carrollton hosts a groundbreaking near the site of the future downtown Carrollton Station, one of 3 Carrollton stations scheduled to open on the Green Line. And in 2008, DART begins updating its fleet of 115 light rail vehicles by inserting a new low-floor insert between the existing sections of the vehicle, adding seating capacity and improving access through level boarding. At the start of 2009, DART completed the installation of brand-new heavy-duty bike racks on the front of its buses. Up to 2 bikes can be easily stored in each rack, which cyclists can load and unload themselves. In July of 2009, DART opens the Rosa Parks Plaza, creating a new type of bus passenger facility. The focal point is a life-size bronze statue of Parks sitting on a bus bench that will welcome customers. And on September 14, 2009, the first 3 miles and 4 new stations of the Green Line opened with service from MLK Jr. Station in South Dallas to Victory Station near the American Airlines Center. Just 4 years after the first front loader of dirt was turned, the 28-mile, 20-station, $1.8 billion Green Line was completed on schedule and under budget on December 6, 2010. It was the longest single-day opening of electric light rail in the United States since 1990. Also on that date, the Lake Highland Station, DART's first infill station, opened on the Blue Line in northeast Dallas between White Rock and LBJ Skillman stations. In March of 2011, the Monroe Shops building, located adjacent to the DART Blue Line Illinois station, entered its next century of use in a way that could not have been imagined when it opened as a train maintenance facility in 1914. Being transformed into the new home of the DART Police, the building renovation preserved the historic aspects of the structure and would later be recognized as the first publicly owned building listed on the National Register of Historic Places to achieve the LEED Platinum certification, the organization's highest recognition. Highlights for the year 2012 were many. In June, DART celebrated 250 million light rail passenger trips. Don Johnson was the 250 millionth customer on the light rail system. The daily DART rail rider was greeted by DART President and Executive Director Gary Thomas and Michael Melanofi, President and Chief Executive Officer of the American Public Transportation Association, who was in Dallas for the annual APTA Rail Conference. And on July 30th of 2012, DART's long-anticipated Orange Line to Irving opened. The opening of the first phase of the Orange Line, a 5.4-mile section from Bachman Station to the Irving Convention Center station, added 3 new stations to the DART rail system: the University of Dallas Station, the Las Colinas Urban Center Station, and the Irving Convention Center Station. DART opened 2 more rail segments on December 3, 2012, extending the Blue Line to Rowlett and the Orange Line further into Irving and closer to DFW International Airport. DFW Station is scheduled to open in December 2014, making DART one of the few transit agencies in the U.S. with direct rail service into a major airport. In 2013, DART celebrates 30 years of providing transportation choices to the citizens of the Dallas region. This year, it's all about new buses and a new modern streetcar. The new buses have a smoother ride, low floors for easy boarding, and enhanced onboard security systems, making it the best bus ride ever. The 459 buses are running exclusively on compressed natural gas and will cut the agency's annual fuel costs by nearly 2/3 by the end of 2015. The modern streetcar being built by DART is what's really got people talking. Earlier this year, DART awarded a contract to the Brookville Equipment Corporation to build 2 of their Liberty streetcars. These vehicles will travel along a 4-stop, 1.6-mile track connecting downtown Dallas to Oak Cliff over the Trinity River via the Houston Street Viaduct. Work on the vehicles is already underway, and you can't help but notice the streetcar track construction that's taking place on the viaduct. So there you have it. DART has been connecting communities for 3 decades and looks forward to adding more connections in the future.